Hello, everybody. My name is Joe Castanho. You may know me from the vMix Mastermind group. And I want to let you know that today Ryan has invited me here to talk about my IFB. Now, what is an IFB? That's the talk back to the vMix callers, intercom, to the callers during a show. And I just want to start with a disclaimer. It's not for the faint of heart the way I do it, because I, as the technical director, do not listen to the master bus. What I do is I have a separate second set of headphones on the desk next to me with the master bus. I can hear it in the background, but for you, it might not work. So there are other ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. We can get the master bus into your headphones as well, if that's something that works better for you. Now, let me tell you about what I got going on here. I have my Novation Launchpad. It's a 9x9 grid of MIDI controller. I programmed it with the vMix, the shortcuts available in vMix, but you can do that with a Stream Deck or any other MIDI, or using Central Control or any of the other programs that do that sort of thing. So I want to demonstrate how this all works for me, and perhaps so that you can use it for yourself. This is a set of shortcuts that I use. Here's my Launchpad. So let's take a closer look at the Launchpad. Most of this stuff up here is not needed to perform the IFB, but it's a panel to be able to see what buses, these are my buses, these are the audio buses, output buses. These are the inputs, so I can see which input is on which bus at a glance, and I can change that. So for example, if I didn't want Tam to be on the A bus, I can turn him off, or I can turn him back on. So these are my guests. I have Sue and Ben and Martha and Tam, and every once in a while we have an additional guest. This is me, the technical director. This is the preview and program bus, so I can see and control what's going on there. These are my output buses. This is simply a row of indicators, mute indicators. It tells me who's muted or not. Buttons don't do anything except show me. These are the actual mute buttons up top here. So if I want to mute somebody, I can mute them here, and the indication is here. So this is the master bus. This is the A bus. This is the IFB bus. This is my intercom bus. Everybody who is a caller is listening to the A bus. That's what I'm sending them back through vMix call, and they're all talking on that bus. And as a technical director, so am I. I can talk to them on that bus. B bus is going out to a Zoom meeting. C bus is kind of a fun thing I do, but we won't talk about that today. E bus is the IFB. So when I'm talking to somebody, that's the bus we use. And G bus is the bus that's coming back to me. That's the bus I'm listening to. So each of the individual callers is on, their audio is on the G bus, so I can hear them. Their audio is on the A bus, so they can speak amongst themselves, and I can also hear them. And I can speak to them, I should say, by being on the A bus as well. Right now, nobody's on the master bus because it's the beginning of the show, but as the show progresses, each person is placed on the master bus or removed from the master bus as needed. So let's talk about how I do the talkback, the bottom row of buttons, these purple buttons. This is the IFB. This first one all the way on the right, this is my push to talk to all. So when I push that button, I am talking to everyone. And let me demonstrate that on the panel, that's a panel of indicators and controls for my audio matrix. So when I depress this button, what happens is I am unmuted. I am talking on the A bus, so all the guests can hear me. And when I release, what happens is I become muted, but I'm still on the A bus. It's just I'm muted, so it doesn't really matter. And then if I need to speak to each caller individually, I can do that with this row, this set of buttons here. So I'm not going to go through all of them because they're all essentially the same, but we'll take a look at Sue. So when I wish to talk to Sue, and I depress the button for Sue, I am unmuted as technical director. I'm unmuted. I am no longer talking on the A bus. I don't want to talk to the rest of the group. I am now only talking on the E bus. So now we have to get that E bus back to Sue. So let's take a look at how we did that. Let's take a look at how we get the bus back to Sue. So normally, and we're talking about everybody's on the A bus and Sue is listening to the A bus. That's what's happening here. We're sending that audio A bus back to Sue so she can listen. Now I'm going to press the button to talk to Sue. And what happens is you can see now she has been moved to the E bus. So when I release, she's on the A bus. Everybody can hear her. She can hear everyone. But when I'm pressing the button to talk to Sue, she can hear the E bus, which, if you remember, I'm speaking on the E bus. When I talk to Sue, I'm speaking on the E bus, and you just saw how she is then listening to us. And then when I release, it goes back to where she's on the A bus, listening to the A bus, and she can hear everyone. So let's take a look at the shortcuts and how those are done. And wonderful, somebody's calling me. I'm just going to tell them no, I don't want to talk to you. So I will put the shortcuts up so everybody can take a look at them. So there we go. Here are the vMix shortcuts. So as I depress a button for Sue, a whole series of actions take place. And as I release the button for Sue, another series, the opposite set of actions take place. So let's take a really closer look at that. So when I first press the button, these are in this vMix, in this Novation Launchpad MIDI, there are 2 state buttons. So when I depress the button, what happens is state 127, that's button 11, state 127, that's when the button is depressed. And then button 11, state 0, that's when the button is released. So this is the series of things that happen. When I depress the button, talk to Sue, I turn the audio on for the technical director. That's me. My audio is now unmuted. I take audio off the A bus, so I'm no longer speaking to the rest of the group. And then I add my audio to the E bus so that I can, that's the IFB bus, so that I now can talk to Sue. And to do that, I will send Sue the E bus. And then when I release the button, this opposite set of things occur. One, I now send Sue the A bus. I turn off the E bus. I don't want to speak on, no longer want to speak on the E bus. And I turn on the A bus so that I can speak to anyone and everyone. And then I mute myself so that people aren't hearing what's going on in the studio. So that's how that all works together. So let's show you really quick. Press Sue. I'm muted. That's the first step. Second step is I'm removed from the A bus. Third step, I'm added to the E bus. Fourth step, as you saw earlier, I am now sending Sue the E bus. And when I release, all the opposite happens. I can do the same thing to each person. Each one works effectively the same. As I want to talk to Tam, I want to talk to Tam, same thing's happening, except I'm sending Tam the E-bus. I want to talk to the guest, same thing's happening, except I'm sending the guest the E-bus. So that's essentially how this all works. These are the shortcuts I use to put it together. As you can see, I put headers, I organize my shortcuts by putting these headers. There's functions, buttons that don't do anything, and I turn them off, but I can use that to organize my bus. So that's how I do it. And if you have any questions, I might be here to talk to them, speak to your questions. I may not, but hopefully I'll be here. And Ryan will let you know, and we can get started with the questions. Anyway, thank you and have a good day.